Welcome to the Green It Up Club. I'm Michael, and today we're answering the question, how do I get enough vitamin D? If you haven't seen the previous video on vitamin D, check it out in the link down below in the description. In that video, I explained the benefits of maintaining proper levels of vitamin D and what happens when your body becomes deficient in vitamin D. Now, you might have heard that sunlight is the best method of maintaining proper vitamin D levels in your body, but you also might have heard that sunlight can cause a lot of problems, including skin cancer. Well, that's no coincidence because many doctors and many organizations recommend that you avoid the sun, including the US Surgeon General, the American Academy of Dermatology, and many cancer organizations. And the primary reason they recommend avoiding sunlight is because they say it causes skin cancer. Now, here are the basic types of skin cancer. We have basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, and melanoma, which is the deadliest form of skin cancer. Does sunlight cause cancer? Well, let's look into those types of skin cancer and let's see what we find out. Squamous cell carcinoma is clearly associated with chronic sun overexposure or sunburns. Now, you may have noticed that my skin looks a little red because I was out in the sun all day long yesterday. Does that mean that I'm gonna get skin cancer? Great question, thank you for asking that. Well, if I get chronic sunburns all the time and they're very, very severe sunburns, I might be more susceptible to developing squamous cell carcinoma in the future. Melanoma is the deadliest form of skin cancer. It's the scary one. It's the one that everybody's afraid of. Now, does sunlight cause melanoma? If you look at the research, outdoor workers have decreased risk of melanoma compared to indoor workers, and it often appears on areas that rarely get sunlight. And they've also found that vitamin D has a protective effect against melanoma. Still not convinced that sunlight doesn't cause melanoma? Let's look at some more research. Out of the Journal of Internal Medicine, the title of the study was Avoidance of Sun Exposure as a Risk Factor for Major Causes of Death, a competing risk analysis of the melanoma in the southern Sweden cohort. This was a groundbreaking study on sunlight and melanoma because they studied 30,000 women over 20 years. These are the kind of studies that you really want to look at because this is going to give you a clear picture of what you're studying. Here's what they found in the study. Sun avoidance is actually as dangerous as smoking when it comes to cancer and overall mortality risks. There was the same life expectancy reduction. Non-smokers who stayed out of the sun had the same life expectancy as smokers who received sunlight. And here are some quotes from the study. This indicates that avoiding the sun is a risk factor for death of a similar magnitude as smoking. The researchers acknowledge that longer life expectancy for sunbathers seems paradoxical to the common thinking that sun exposure increases risk for skin cancer. And here's a quote from one of the doctors on the study. One of the strengths of the study was that results were dose-specific. Sunshine benefits went up with amount of exposure. We know in our population there are three big lifestyle factors that endanger health: smoking, being overweight, and inactivity. Now we know there is a fourth: avoiding sun exposure. But I'm still not convinced. Does the sun cause skin cancer? The problem is that the answer is not a simple yes or no. The sun does not cause skin cancer. However, the nonstop burning of your skin combined with a toxic diet, a poor immune system, and other lifestyle factors can cause skin cancer. And we know for sure that too much sun exposure can cause squamous cell carcinoma. You might be saying, Mike, this is confusing. I know that sunlight is good and maybe it's bad. I'm still not sure. I know that I need vitamin D, so what do I do? Always remember that sunlight isn't bad for your health. However, getting sunburn is bad for your health. In response to this, many doctors and specialists are recommending sunscreens and sunblocks. In theory, that makes sense, but they do block your body's ability to produce vitamin D from sunlight. Plus, they also contain many toxic chemicals, and we'll go into sunscreens in detail in future videos. Come on, I'm so confused now. What should I do? Great question, thank you for asking that. What you should do is first stop using those toxic sunblocks and use something more natural. And there are many ways of protecting your skin other than putting some kind of cream or sunblock on it. Here are the best types of sunblocks. You want to use a hat to protect your face because the skin on your face is thinner than the skin on the rest of your body. So it's more likely that your face will get sunburnt instead of the rest of your body. If you're going to be out in the sun for a long time, you definitely want to have some kind of shade, whether it's a palm tree or an umbrella, or you can wear some light clothing to protect your skin. And one of the best sunscreens around is actually coconut oil. Not only is it great for your skin and great for your body, but it has an SPF of 4 to 6. So put that on your skin instead of a toxic sunscreen. Now you know how to protect your skin from too much sun, but let's talk about how you should sunbathe properly. When you go out in the sun, make sure it's between the hours of 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. because you're getting the proper UVB light exposure, and this is known as solar noon. A general rule of thumb is that your shadow should be shorter than the height of your body, and there shouldn't be any clouds or windows blocking the sun because that will block the UVB light, which is responsible for producing vitamin D in your body. And you want to expose as much skin as possible. So it's June right now, and I've noticed a lot of tourists and people coming out to the beach that are super white, and you can tell they've just been indoors all winter long and maybe all spring, and they're just getting burnt to a crisp out on the beach. So what are some good tips for these people? If you're just getting out in the sun, or if you're very fair-skinned and you want to get a little tan and build up a little tolerance to the sunlight, what are some things that you should be doing? Well, first of all, keep in mind that regular sunlight exposure lowers all-cause mortality, that's death from anything. So you want to try and get sunlight throughout the year. Beginners should build up their tolerance and aim for about 20 to 30 minutes of unprotected exposure 2 to 4 times a week. Remember to sunbathe only between the hours of 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Expose as much skin as you can, and only stay out in the sun until your skin turns to the very lightest shade of pink. If you're going to be out in the sun for a while, shield your face because that facial skin is very thin and it's more prone to sun damage and wrinkling. And you can boost your internal sunscreen by consuming healthy fats and antioxidants, which strengthens your skin cells and increases your levels of protection. And these will include astaxanthin and omega-3 fats, which are the first line of defense against sunburns. And getting optimal sleep is essential because melatonin production slashes cancer risk. Remember that sunlight is good for you, but too much sunlight can have some negative effects on your body. There is still so much to cover on vitamin D and sunlight, and we haven't gone into all the UVA, UVB rays, and all the little specific things about sunlight. So check out the videos in the future, and we're going to talk about all of that stuff in detail. Because you might be wondering, why should you sunbathe at those specific times? Why solar noon? What do all those things mean? Well, here's a hint. It has to do with ultraviolet light. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you learned a lot. Let us know if you liked the video and leave a comment down below. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. And welcome to the Green It Up Club. All right, I'm going out to the beach right now. I got my hat to protect my face, and I got my tub of coconut oil, which I'm gonna put all over my body so that I can protect myself naturally from the sun, but also still hopefully get some vitamin D. All right, so let's go out there, guys. I'll see you out on the beach, hopefully. Whoop. That looks a little weird. Put a little bit here. All right, ready for a nice surf session.